Tim Minchin on religion, God, Trump, and the divisive nature of politics. This will be an interesting reaction. I love Tim Minchin's music, and he has a funny way of thinking that is very unique to most people that I've heard, especially skeptics. And so I found this little clip in a short form and dug in a little deeper and saw, hey, hold on, there's a 6-minute clip on Josh Czep's YouTube channel. So let's check out what he has to say here. You know, Tim's always got an interesting way of thinking. Let's hear him out. Let's hear what he has to say.
Well, it's become untrendy to criticize religion. It isn't amazing how it was just the thing and then it just went away. But I think it's more important than ever to defend critical thinking and to defend...
Maybe on a mass scale it's become untrendy. Because I've been doing it for quite a while, specifically with Christianity, and of course now I'm taking my aims towards Islam. Of course, the Hebrew Bible, it's kind of like built into the Bible package of being critical of the entire Bible, and so that's been something I've been doing.
Applying critical thinking to spirituality, because I actually think it's gateway stuff. I do think it's all connected.
Do you think
I would like the world...
Do you think formal religions are more gateways to irrationality, or the woo-woo small s?
I don't really know, and I'd be guessing, and maybe the whole thing's bollocks, but don't you think the fact that most people who voted for Trump... So this is my theory.
Give it to us.
Criticize the crap out of me. I think when we get more high resolution in fMRIs or whatever, in brain scans, we will be able to see how our brains, during their elastic phases, they're always elastic. I don't need to explain it neurologically. I think if you've spent your whole life subdividing your hard drive so that you believe things and don't believe them at the same time. So if you grow up thinking Jesus is real and answers my prayers, but also I'm not going to step in front of this bus, you understand that magic isn't real, but you believe magic is real, and you believe those two things at the same time, right? You believe...
That's a very interesting thing. I believe in magic. I believe miracles. But I'm not going to step in front of this bus, implying maybe he means in his mind like, I could pray that this bus won't kill me and won't hit me. So I'll step in front of this bus. Jesus would save me, but I'm not going to. And I lived my life as a teenager kind of like that, thinking there was a force field around me and that I could get away with more than typical people. There is this weird magical thinking that comes with the belief in Jesus, in God. However, I wouldn't do something dumb like that, or jump off of a 5-story building and say, Jesus will make me fly, or something like that. Which tells me I don't really believe it in some way, and then I really do believe it in some way. It's weird.
Basically, in a materialistic universe, in every action...
Let's go backwards. Go ahead, brother.
Time, right? You believe basically in a materialistic universe in every action in your life, but then you have this other program running where everything's magic. And I reckon then a demagogue comes along like Trump, and you can hear that he's a slime bag, criminal, sexist, and sort of believe he's the second coming at the same time. You're basically primed to believe and not believe two things at the same time.
Interesting.
I wonder if religion teaches you to believe two things at the same time, and whether that might be bad in and of itself. Not
you're filthy rags, you're a dirty wretch, but Christ in you. There is this idea that there's like multiple teachings at the same time that you're believing. I'm horrible. Any good that's in me isn't me, it's Jesus. What?
Not to mention just the evils of radicalization, because religion tells you you're special and other people aren't, and that means you can kill them.
Right. I mean, for some reason, I find the tarot...
That was a bit of a long stretch.
No, I like the theory. I don't know how much credence I give it, but I certainly give credence to the idea
I don't give credence, bitch.
I certainly give credence to the idea which is an idea that you didn't come up with, so I'm giving credence to myself here and not to you. That the woo-woo stuff, the manifestation, the idea that my brain can change the universe, and like astrology and stuff like that, it gets on my nerves more than formal religion does, because you only need one bullshit leap to be a believer in formal religion, and that is the creator of the universe wrote a book. But for this other stuff, you kind of need a whole Jenga puzzle, like an artifice of stuff that you have to keep believing in with no evidence. And it may even be worse than the dichotomy that you're talking about.
They don't believe the framing.
What?
They don't believe.
Like I think that if we're going to solve problems like climate chaos and save liberal democracy, we all have to be roughly on the same page. And in order to be on the same page, we need not just empathy, but we also need a respect for reason and rationality and evidence.
Here
and
we are.
If you junk
finally
those,
started the podcast.
Welcome to the show. G'day, humans. If you junk those because you think that it's cute and fun to do tarot cards,
there's a better way.
Yeah, you're untraining yourself in the skills that you need.
All I'm saying.
Yeah.
Either you believe that with the introduction of new evidence, you will change your mind, or you don't. And if you don't believe that it is not just a thing, but an important thing, as I do, that with the introduction of new evidence, I would change my mind about God, about anything. If you don't believe that changing your mind is a virtuous thing to do, an important and right thing to do in the face of new data, then we're fucked.
Would you change your mind about the opinion that you've been expressing about the importance of the need for empathy?
Yeah. If I am basing my concern about progressive discourse on an observation that we are making the people we need to seduce less seducible.
Right.
We are sending people that we might have a chance of bringing into the fold of things we care about. We're sending we're
turning them off, baby.
Absolutely turning
them off.
What are you doing? I believe that. And if you said, Tim,
So what? Hold on. Did I miss something? Why is he saying this?
into the fold of things we care about, we're sending we're
turning them off, baby.
Absolutely turning
them off. What are you doing?
I really believe that. And if you said, Tim, you've just got caught up in your own epistemic bubble, that's not happening, mate. It's actually like, look at the positive changes. Look at Me Too. Look at more people of color in positions of power. Look at and actually that thing you're observing about people, that's just the fringe. I send me that data.
You just did a pretty good case of convincing me that you're wrong, because
I don't think that's
there is a growth. We now have.
I think
the Supreme Court of the United States has a greater representation than the American population of people of color and women.
That wasn't done by shouting at each other on Twitter, though.
Well, got Trump elected, and he did a bit of it because he nominated a couple of women.
Yeah,
well, a woman. Anyway,
a couple of women in the body of one woman.
A woman and a guy. The other woman was Obama's.
Yes. Look, I honestly, look, the worst thing that could come of, I'm pretty sure not dehumanizing the other. That's all I've been saying the whole time.
That was enjoyable. Really, really enjoyable. I definitely agree with him that if you can believe in two crazy things that don't make sense at the same time, you can compartmentalize anything and everything. And I also agree with the latter part about whatever you're doing. Even if you're being critical of the religion, try not to dehumanize the people themselves who might be trapped in the delusion. Cognitive dissonance is a hell of a drug, right? But the same goes for those who are on the other side of the party. He was talking politics as well. And it's like, when you do dehumanize, when you use that card every effing time, trust me when I tell you, like, the other side is getting in more entrenched. It's the same thing with the Christians, that when you're critical of the Christianity, okay, some people cognitive dissonance, but when you're critical of them personally, they go deeper into that Christianity. So if your goal was to get them to stop believing in Christianity, you attacking them as a person isn't working. It's not going to accomplish the goal you hope to achieve. And the same goes for anything. Any other arena. That's what I think makes the most sense. And I think that's what he was saying. Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. I'd like to hear from you. Did you enjoy this video? I thought that was an interesting way of how technically they do live a materialist universe, and they still have this compartment where they believe in magic, but they don't really believe it over what they know happens on a day-to-day basis, typically. I think he hit the nail on the head. I really would like to hear from you. What are your thoughts about Tim Minchin there? I love his music. I'd love to react more to his music. The problem is I reacted to one of his songs and then I sent in a request, because it blocked it. It didn't just say it wasn't demonetized. It blocked it from being viewed. So I requested and said, look, I'm doing a reaction to this. Please allow me to, react to the song. It was the Thank You God song. And so I ended up putting it on the Patreon, so you can join the Patreon if you want to check out my reaction to that song. It's a heck of a song. I love it, but it won't allow it on YouTube. So anyway, if you enjoy these reactions, subscribe, hit the bell, and hit all so you're notified every time we drop a new one. Also, be sure to like it and drop a comment. Tell me your thoughts, because comments help grow the channel. And if you want to see more criticism of religion, more critical thought about these kinds of things, you're at the right spot. So I really appreciate every one of you, and until next time, see you then.